All right. Good morning, Kinnard and Courtney Curtis. Would you guys mind I'm sorry, introducing yourselves to the Black Petersburg family?
Yes, my name is Kinnard Curtis.
And I'm Courtney Curtis, his wife. And we are the owners of Family Services, Inc.
hmm
Nice. And for those that know you already, can you kind of shed light on who you are as it relates to the Black community here in Petersburg?
Mhm.
We have been staples of this community for quite some time. Born and raised here in Petersburg, Virginia, Delectable Heights to be exact. We have been doing the work that we do in the community.
Mhm.
Obviously, the business is 2014, but we've been doing work way before then, before we even knew that we were stepping into the mental health field. For myself, I've been inspired as a young kid. I'm going to if you're familiar, my people that are homegrown or that know a lot about Petersburg, Hardin Street Recreation Center. Grew up there, going to that environment, working with kids. I had quite a few counselors who inspired me um, to work with kids. You know what I mean? It was just impactful. It was a safe haven. It was an opportunity to engage with your friends in a positive way. My mom was an educator in the city of Petersburg, so I'm just trying to give you an understanding of my feel of how I became who I became
Mhm.
for working for the kids in the city. My grandmother either had a nursery home, was the first nursery home on the Heights,
Mm,
very first, in the early 40s. And so, just being around kids and that passion and have that connection with the city, with the community has been always a part of me and a
Mhm.
part of us now that Family Services is here in
mm.
Petersburg.
Yeah.
So describe your childhood in the Delectable Heights. Like, what was the landscape like? What kind of family life did you have? Like, kind of what shaped your character and your your outlook? Like, you could have taken your talents elsewhere. How old are you, Kennard?
So I'm 37.
Okay, you
37.
old.
Yeah, we up there. So for me, growing up on the hikes, number one, it was very family oriented. You knew everybody. No matter what store I walked to, what corner, I was conversating with the guys on. Somebody knew somebody. It was more like a village. Back then you could walk up and down the street, you could do something wrong, and somebody will say something to you.
Mm,
Wasn't Nobody was afraid to correct you. You such and such little boy. You ain't supposed to be around here.
Mm.
Keep it moving. Things of that nature. Sports was very big.
mhm,
Growing up on the Heights, playing ball on Virginia Avenue schoolyard. You had the AP Hill Community Center. We used to play basketball at. The guys were they were cool.
mhm,
And if they made sure that you stayed on the right path. And like I said, it takes that village. Nobody was, trying to put you down or influence you in a
mm,
different way. Obviously, you've seen some
Yeah.
things, but you made your own choices, and
mhm,
people that supported you whatever you did. Like I said, the town, the Heights was it was a family. It was love. You know what I mean? It was love no matter what. The biggest thing, everybody knew each other. They knew your
mm,
parents, they knew your grandparents, and it felt like you were raised by a community,
mm.
which kind of kept everyone together.
Nice. So, Courtney, chime in here with your transition to the area and your background and kind of what your first impression of Petersburg was, if you can think way
Yeah.
back when.
Yeah, so Petersburg has always been a part of me, even though I'm from Chesterfield, Matoka in particular. But Petersburg has always been right here, only because I grew up in Petersburg. I grew up in church in Petersburg. I still have family in Petersburg. And then also my grandmother, great grandmother, everybody, my mother, everybody lived in Petersburg. So
Mhm.
it was only until my mother was in high school that my family actually moved out to Matoka. So we still had a lot of ties to Petersburg. And I think that's why God brought us together, because there is definitely a mission that we were that God wanted us to fulfill in Petersburg. We both have a love for it, and we just want to see the kids succeed. So and families succeed. But we came back. We were in Matoka, but then came back to Petersburg, and yeah, and a few times. And just because we love, we love the area, we love being here. This is home.
Yes.
This is home. When people ask, like when we go out of town, what's home? Petersburg, Virginia.
Yeah.
That's our home. So that's why we are so passionate about it, because our families were here. We want to see it succeed, and yeah, so the transition was not hard, because it was already a part of me. I was already coming here. I was in church 3-4 days a week. So I was already here,
No,
you know,
which church is that?
Mount Olivet. So I grew
Okay.
up, yep, Mount Olivet Baptist Church, which was on Halifax. So
Okay.
I grew up. So my family actually grew up in Halifax, on Halifax Street. Our family home was on Halifax. And
Mhm.
then actually we grew up in Mount Olivet Baptist Church. Well, first it was Third Baptist Church, and then Mount Olivet. So
Mhm.
that whole Halifax area is where my family kind of was. So
Nice. Now speak to, you said that it wasn't until um your mother was in high school. I don't know if I got that right. She was in high school and then you guys relocated.
yep, and then the whole family relocated to the Matoka area.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So speak to who your mother is and was to the Petersburg community.
Yes. So I would love to. So my mother, she was always in the community. So she actually was the executive director for years at Mary Carter Biggin House, and not probably not a lot of our generation.
I just paused it. It froze for a second, but go ahead. What's going on? Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, that's all right. I paused it right
let me,
when you were saying that she was the executive director of the Maricata House.
yes. Hold on one second, Indy. I'm gonna go to my hotspot, because sometimes our internet is unstable.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. I think we're good now.
Hmm. So
Okay.
you were saying that a lot of our generation didn't know something?
Yeah, so a lot of the generation probably don't know what Mary Carter Beacon House was, but it was a day support center for adults. And she was pretty much she changed a lot over there. And so I also grew up there.
Mm.
So I grew up, when I was out of school or summertime, I was at the Mary Carter Beacon House, and they were in plenty of locations, a lot of different locations in Petersburg. But she was there, and then she also then she moved over to a place in Hopewell, which is Prince George Healthy Families. So in all these places, she worked with families. She worked with kids, she worked with families, she worked with adults, but they were all in like the mental health um, field. And when she got to Hopewell Prince George Healthy Families, she really found a love for the kids and helping families. So that's when she created her own company, which is Family Services Inc. And that's when she went into mental health skill building, which is helping adults with some of their mental health diagnoses and understanding how to cope with their anger and different emotions that they're having. But she had dreams of doing so much more. She wanted to have a home for young girls. She wanted to have a day support center like the Mary Carter Beacon House. So she wanted to do so much more with the company, but sadly she did pass away in 2019. And that's when we got the company, and we said, you know, it was never a question as to whether we were going to close the company or not. It was always, okay, now we're in this position. What are we going to do next? So then we had to figure out what our passion was. How did we want to pivot the company so that we were passionate about the services that we had to help the community? So my mother was all about helping the community. That is just who she was.
Mhm.
And she really, and with family services, she ended up coming back to Petersburg because that's home. That's just home. And you know, even with us, we're like, we don't want to go anywhere else. This is home. This is where we want to be. This is the population we want to help.
Nice. So, what do you think? What do you think was your mother's driving force? Not just working with family, but the question comes up, what do you think drew her to Mount Olivet Baptist Church, which is a, you know, a church that's a staple, one of you know, a staple fellowships in the Petersburg community. Like what was or what could you say if you needed to speak on behalf of her, of what was her love for Petersburg? Why did she go to Mount Olivet, and you know, why dedicate her life to this type of work,
Yeah,
specifically in Petersburg? I mean, what do you think the driving force was?
yeah. I think it was her heart. You know, it was her heart. It was her following what God wanted her to do. She, you know, she was not only a believer, but she was obedient. She was obedient. And that's where, you know, I learned a lot of my faith journey and a lot of what I know about God from her. And you know, I just believe that God just guided her to where he
Hmm.
needed to be. And she listened. She was
Hmm.
obedient. She was ready to fulfill what God had for her. And that's the steps that God took her. That's the way that God took her, allowed for her to be in all those different places. And even in Mount Olivet, she started different ministries. She started the substance, or not the substance, the domestic violence ministry at Mount Olivet, which is still there today.
Hmm.
So even so, if there's women and families, you know, men, whoever needs the service can contact Mount Olivet, and
Hmm.
it will help them through their difficult time. But yeah, she was all about community. So she just went where, you know, where she was needed and where her heart took her, where God took her.
Hmm. Okay. All right. I'm bringing it back over to you, Kinnard, or either of you guys can answer this, but um, how how do you see Petersburg evolving through your lens, through the work that you've done? Even, you know, it sounds like Courtney and Kennard, you guys have been there on the ground level from day one, either experiencing it as a child, volunteering, working with children and family. I mean, that's the heart of Petersburg. It's the people. How have you seen that change over the years? You know, is it the same loving community in the Heights where everybody knows everybody and everybody's holding everybody accountable? Um, and then just from your view and vantage point, how do you see that, or how would you like to see that evolve for years to come?
I think for me, um, obviously times has changed. Um, you
Mm.
know, in the hikes, I go through every now and then. A lot of times I don't recognize, the younger faces. But I will say that the city is slowly getting back to its old days, with with just have been the community feel, that presence, with the events that are taking place, with the opportunities that businesses are bringing into the city. The only thing I would love to see to continue to evolve is more things for the youth to do. As I grew up here, as I grew up, we had the bowling alley, we had the skating rink, you had the movie theater. All of those things were in the city of Petersburg, on top of multiple recreation places they go to. That is still a decline. And that is one of the main reasons why we go so hard at what we do, because we know that the kids in the city do not have a lot of things to look forward to. And that creates idle time, negative behaviors. You know what I mean? Still have the YMCA, which is a good staple in the community. But honestly, besides that place, it's just not as much. And so for the city, I do know, I've heard various rumors. I've had various conversations of the plan and the direction the city is moving forward in, and that better days are continued to come. But like I said, the beauty of that, that's what drives us. That's what keeps us going, because we know that we still have a purpose and we still have a commitment to give back, to give those kids that empowerment to look forward to something bigger, than the city. And so, like I said, that's what drives us. Excuse me. That's what drives us. And just getting back to that feel for the community, where you can go in any neighborhood and somebody will recognize you. Somebody knows you. And that also works well, when you can step in any area in the city, somebody sees what you do, they know what you do, and they love what you do. And that's what we want people to understand and see. Family services, we're at every community event in the city. If we're not there, we have representation there.
And the fact that we treat our clients like family.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I never thought about changing the name of it, because my mother was the same way. She treated her clients like family. She treated her staff like family, and we do the same thing. So when we say family, we're not another mental health agency. We really want to make a difference with not even just the kids, the whole family. So we're talking to the parents weekly. We're talking to the clients, and that's not something that we have to do as owners, because we have staff to do that. But we feel that it's important for us to make contact with the families, so that they know, like, hey, like, you have a QMHP, but also you have us too. So if you need to call us, which they do, if you need to call us and let us know what little Johnny is doing at school or in the street, call us so we can handle it. So we can all get a hold of it all together, from the parent side, but also from the mentor and the therapeutic side, we can handle it as well. So when we mean family, like, that's what we're striving for, family, community, like it used to be, but we can only create like a little island that we have over here, and hopefully be able to spread it out to more people. So yeah.
It's that village. Yeah, it's that village.
That's
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And that is one piece that is missing. That presence of the village. And that was always possible back in the day. And so I just want to bring that back. And like she said, the work that we do and how we communicate with our parents, how we communicate with our clients' parents, is creating that village, and they appreciate that. They really do. They will tell us, we thank you for taking the time. And we're like, of course, that's what we're here for. So,
So I'm gonna touch on two other things, and I'm gonna let y'all get back to y'all's family. So the question that comes up, I know there was a immediate draw when I moved to Petersburg to connect with the two of you all because we're close in age, and it's going to be, and I've been able to experience firsthand where there are a lot more young people moving into the city. What do you guys do socially? How do you guys invite other people in? I just want to plug the fact that y'all have extended that warm welcome and family feel beyond family services because I knew my church, but I didn't know anybody my age that was going through like young parenthood and all that stuff. So I had to rely on y'all for childcare and, what we doing tonight, like a lot of things that when someone moves to Petersburg, it's such a tight-knit community that the people that are from there already know each other, already have those pre-existing relationships. So, are you guys, besides little old me, when it comes to new people and people that see this interview and say, oh, I want to be friends with them. I want to get to know their family, your three children, Pittsburgh's so small that it's very likely that they'll see you at one of those community events. Speak to being a young married couple that you're carrying the weight of the next generation on y'all's shoulders as well. People look to y'all for new ideas and resources and all of that. So speak to that piece of what does availability look like for you guys to make new friends and extend your family to the community beyond what you guys do professionally, and speak to the perspective of being a young married couple. Like, what's there to do? Like, what do y'all find to do in Petersburg with y'all's circle of friends and church family and coworkers and things like that?
Yeah. Well, I'll say that, due to having three kids, get out a whole lot. But when we do, we take advantage of downtown Petersburg. We love going down there. Just going to the restaurants that they have. They recently had some newer restaurants that we visited that, it was like a whole group of us went together, and we all enjoyed it. There's the bookstore downstairs. It's so many the place, Buttery Bakery, that has me in a chokehold right now. It's just so many so many different places to eat down there that are really good. But also, they have like the art nights on Fridays that we do. It's a lot that if we're not wanting to drive far, then that's kind of like our go-to. But also, we're a part of, like Kinnard said, we go to a lot of the community events. We'll bring our kids. Petersburg does have a lot of community events, whether it's the city of Petersburg, our organizations throwing them. There's a lot of stuff to do, like on weekends. They'll have, the old school cookouts, and I know the Heights has events, like at least they have them like once a year.
Yeah.
Like the reunions, it's always something to do because we like to eat. Yeah, the festival. Yeah. So
Do you
we
guys
have,
still do the young adults ministry at Mount Olivet?
yeah, and that too. Yep. So the young adults ministry at Mount Olivet is very active. So we do a lot of volunteer work in the community. We do events for kids. Like last fall, we had a October fest, or we called it a harvest fest. But we had games and activities for the kids. So it's honestly it's a lot for us to do just right here in the city. And yes, when you said availability, we're like, yeah, we love people, if you want to either have dinner or just have a play date. I know we had a lot of play dates, Indiana Hal and the kids, and play date, we love doing family things. I think more so because it's not as hard to try to get babysitters. And so if you have kids, definitely, like, we would love to meet you. We would love to you know, have a play date together and go to the park, you know, just have a good time. And that's really what community is about, you know, just inviting new people in. And we are not against, you know, meeting new people and you know, just learning about them, where they're from, what they can offer to the city, how we can work together, you know. So we're all about that.
Awesome. So the last direction I want to go with is just from y'all's heart, what would, as you know, as newcomers come, as the notoriety of Petersburg begins to grow through Black Petersburg, and just a celebration of things that maybe people, you know, when you're there, you can easily take it for granted, but like the the outside interest in, you know, the investment, the real estate, the community, the youth, all those things that we talk about here, all those things that, in my opinion, just knowing y'all have been a part of firsthand, you know, Kinnard, with you and with the work that you did with the young leaders at the YMCA, Courtney, the work that you did with selling real estate in Petersburg. I mean, you guys were those people that if you're in the city, your name is going to come up. You're going to be referred to. Your reputation is amazing. And your referrals out, you know, the people that you introduce them to are solid. It's quality because you know these people and you vetted them. So just from your heart, you know, Kinnard, you touched on this earlier with like wanting to see, you know, the youth have more. Speak to what's next for y'all to see that through and the fruition therein. And I kind of want to start off by um shining a light on the after school program and the stuff that y'all do at the office and how y'all plan to expand that and grow your office at Family Services, and then maybe some other community initiatives and projects that we don't know that you guys have planned. All that would be great.
Yeah. I think you know, the next 3 to 5 years for Family Services, we're going to implement a community center. It's coming. It's going to happen. That is our ultimate goal, is to create a safe haven that is big enough for the community to utilize. With tons of resources, you know, whether it's gaming rooms, computers, literacy, you know, we just want to be a place in the community that gives the kids a sense of hope and urgency and empowerment and uplift. That's what we're about. We are going to get it done. It is going to happen. So you heard it here first. God willing, we dream big. And so whatever we put our mind to, we we get it done. And so that is the direction that we want to see Family Services. Um, Obviously, still expanding with staff, more and more counselors, um, clinicians. You know, the sky's the limit, and it's happening now. You know, my office is on Sycamore Street, 612 South Sycamore Street, Petersburg, Virginia, in the heart of the city. You ride down past the building every day. It's on the corner of Graham Road and Sycamore. If you're familiar with the old Southside Regional Hospital where they used to sit on Graham Road, it's right diagonal. Our building is diagonal from the empty parking lot, which they're planning to redevelop soon for the city. So big things are coming. We're excited. We're ready to move. God is moving in our business. He's moving in this city. He's moving in this community. And so we give all honor and thanks to him.
Yeah.
You
And
can
our
share.
so our after school program right now we're in the summer portion of it. So we're in our summer program, but right now we're using the Greater Faith AME Zion Church. So it's a lot bigger than our building. But they have a lot of room to, you know, expand and you know, kind of have space, which they needed. So they're there the whole summer and we have tons of activities for them. We have a literally a full calendar for them to do. But you know, with we probably had about 35 kids on our caseload to be able to offer these services to, but unfortunately, because of Medicaid, they did not approve some of them. So we really want to get to the point where we're not having to depend fully on Medicaid. So because there is a population that we're missing. So all of those kids that got denied, their parents may or may not be able to pay for them to come to the program. So therefore they don't get the services. So then they go back into the community. They, they become a part of things they shouldn't be. They're doing things they shouldn't be doing. They go back to school, they're getting suspended and fighting and all of those things. And sometimes, we try to advocate for them as best as possible with Medicaid, but it just doesn't happen. So we are really trying to get to that population by, I don't know if it's going to be in forms of like a nonprofit or in forms of, just something to be able to provide to these kids. Because honestly, right now, there are some kids that are coming to the program that are not even approved. But because of our hearts, we're like, we cannot tell them, like, they need these services. Like, they have to be here. And we fought for them as best as we could. And Medicaid was still like, nope, nope. And we get so frustrated because it's still like this big corporation above us that's deciding how our kids will be serviced, and we don't think that that's fair. So we are definitely going to try to get to that population that can't get the services in some way. And then we also have parent coaching that I wanted to touch on, because parent coaching, that's my passion. And so we definitely want to expand that service, and we're in the process of putting at least 2 coaches through certification, through training to get their certification, and then they'll be able to provide services. And again, we want to be able to, Medicaid doesn't cover this, so we want to be able to provide those services to every single family that we serve. But again, we will have to figure out how to do that in a financially financially smart way, to be able to, send our coach that we have, because we want to be able to provide services to a lot of the kids that need it.
Talk about the
So
other services.
Oh yeah, our intensive in-home. Yep. So we have intensive in-home, which is our one-on-one sessions, where the counselors actually go out into the home and meet with the kids. So that's our 2 biggest programs, intensive in-home, and then we have the after-school and summer therapeutic day treatment. So those are our two big services. And then of course we're working on the parent coaching to be big as well. So yeah. Yep.
Okay, so community center, expanding your summer and after school programs to the kids that don't naturally get approved through Medicaid and meet certain criteria, and parent coaching, which I'm excited about because they don't teach you how to be a parent anymore. Like, we don't have home economics or anything like that. And I think that could be a really big blessing for Petersburg, to have a resource where the parents can come in. I need a parent coaching. I think I still do.
Look, just call me.
I'm pretty sure I need a parent coach. Like, what am I going to do with these toddlers today? But that's such an incredible resource. You have the young adults ministry. You guys have y'all's annual resource fair, I like to call it. Like, what are y'all calling that event that y'all did?
So last year we called it Recharge, but this year we're pivoting again. Which we're going more toward doing like a brunch. We really want to focus on the relationship between parent and child. Okay. So we want to have more of like a brunch for them, a speaker, have talking points for the parents and the child, because that's what we see a lot of. When we that we it might be because of the relationship between the parent and the child, so if we can work on those relationships, our jobs will be a lot easier. because a lot of times we try to give them as many coping skills as possible, but when they walk back into the home, they're being yelled at, they're being hit, they're being talked to in a certain way. So it's, we need all around holistic care for the family, and that's what we're striving toward.
And are all of y'all's clients based in Petersburg? Are they home, like, are they from Petersburg, or are you taken from the area?
So
80%.
yeah, at least 80% is from
Yeah.
the city of Petersburg, but we service clients from all over, from Hopewell, Colonial Heights, the entire Tri-Cities, basically.
Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie,
Okay.
yeah, entire Tri-Cities.
County, so.
And so, yeah, the services are offered to whoever needs it, but
Yeah.
Petersburg is our main
The
population.
majority.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Well, do y'all have any final remarks? I think I touched on a little bit of who y'all are, where y'all from, who raised y'all, what y'all do for work, what y'all, are passionate about, what really fuels y'all to get back to Petersburg's community, what y'all want to see for the youth, what someone who's moving to Petersburg can really expect when they meet you, when they see you. I think we touched on everything. Can y'all think of anything else? Y'all have anything else coming up that y'all want to share with the Black Petersburg family?
I just, if you are coming here, I would just encourage you to get involved.
Yeah.
Get involved with, even if it's not like giving back, but in some type of way, be involved with just going to the events and enjoying the community, and you're going to end up meeting somebody. But take advantage of the city and what it has to offer, because it is not, don't believe the rumors. It's stuff to do here.
It is.
You just got to find it. It may not be as, posters everywhere for it, but it's stuff to do. Be a part of, even the chamber, like they have a lot of activities, it's a lot of stuff to do here for families too. So I would say that just encourage them to get involved and, become a part of a church family as well.
No, I think that's it. And last but not least, if you feel that you need services for your children, we can simply be reached Facebook Family Services Inc. Instagram as well, Family Services Inc. Our phone number 804-898-3524. If if you don't know what to do with the challenging behaviors, the things that you see in your children, that's what we're here for. Give us a call. And if we can't fix it, we have resources. So, just let us know. We're here for the community. We thank you, India, for the opportunity to shed light on family services along with Black Petersburg. So thank you for all that you do and all that you continue to do in the community, for the city. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Thank y'all. I know it's early Saturday morning, but we got it done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Black Petersburg, for watching. As always, a reminder that this is to honor those who came before us, the heritage that already exists in Petersburg. If you just walk the streets, if you go to the Delectable Heights, if you go to Blandford, if you go to Old Town, and just go in and pop your head into any of those residents or businesses, you're going to be able to get a good sense of the people and the love and a Black community that is not broken, is not downtrodden, is not anything that you hear in the media. If you come and you visit and you meet people like Kinnard and Courtney, and just allow allow yourself a little bit of openness to come and see what we're all about in Petersburg. And the spirit of Black Petersburg was truly to highlight the stories that really aren't being told, so that those who are from Petersburg and the youth, we're talking a lot about the youth this morning that are from Petersburg, can definitely develop a sense of pride from where they come from, that this is a city run by Black people, led by Black people, owned by Black people. It's almost 80% Black. And we don't want that narrative to be forgotten. And through these stories and through these interviews, we get to really share our own narrative and story in our own words. That's why the video aspect of these interviews is very important to me, because journalists have a way of twisting it when it comes out, but the viewers can go to our YouTube and they can watch these stories and they can meet y'all and they can put a face to a name. And then when they see y'all, they be like, oh, I saw that Black Petersburg, interview. I didn't know your mama was this. I didn't know. And it keeps the conversation going. It celebrates that, but more importantly, when people have a pride from where they're from, then they protect it, then they invest in it, then they celebrate it and they promote it, and they like, hey, you should come to Petersburg, whatever. And that's the way the Black Petersburg wants to make a change, and wants to be remembered. So as we go forth, we just thank you guys for all of the little small every day. This is just the way Courtney and Kinnard life is. It's not. It's a big deal. You guys could have taken your talents anywhere. You could have relocated. You could have moved to, Matoka or Chesterfield with your businesses, but you made a conscious effort to keep your mother's legacy alive, your mother Kinnard, your grandmother's legacy alive, and their spirit. I know that they're smiling like, okay, we raised some good ones. They right there, they doing the work that we started. So kudos to y'all for having that insight and that wisdom and the love of the community on y'all's back. Y'all definitely pay it forward. I can personally say that not too many people were available for me and my family, but y'all definitely were. So thank y'all for that. And we're going to go ahead and end the recording here. If you guys with Black Petersburg want to get in touch with Kinnard or Courtney, the information will accompany the interview in the article that's published at blackpetersburg.com. Thanks for watching.